And we're back. Well, yeah, it
Yeah, there
is.
is.
I promise it's gonna make sense. There's some videos in the can. It's been a while since we talked to you, but it's gonna numbers might get mixed up, but who cares? You'll deal with it.
Get the doubleheader. It'll be fantastic.
I'm Jared, by the way.
I'm Josh. Good to be
So,
back, man.
That's what's up. And I guess right off the top, I saw just before we got together today, some news came across Facebook that my cousin John knows. They know I'm the Kevin Smith guy, and like all his stuff. So get well, Kevin is the long and short of that. And so hopefully that works out, and it's not a sad story, by the end of the week. But
Yeah,
you never
for
know.
real.
Those health scares like that are serious. So
Hoping that Kevin Smith will be the Ric Flair kick out part 2.
yeah, man.
It's just good, happy ending, man.
Yeah, I think everything I've heard leads me to believe that's going to happen, but you just never know.
Just feel better once
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, totally.
So that's what's up with that. And I guess the coolest thing I've got to talk about is going to see Black Panther, and that was what I did this afternoon, and it was awesome.
It's shocking because normally when we sit down to talk movies, I haven't seen it yet. But this time we can actually both talk about Black Panther because
Yeah.
we've both seen it.
Yep.
It's like, yay, we can talk about Black Panther.
So man, that is just that's the long and short of it is just like it's a fun, awesome, cool movie. Go see it. It's pretty much my review of virtually any Marvel anything that you can name. But especially that one, man. Just go check it out and dig on it.
I definitely second that. The last things we've discussed this, man, the last Marvel stuff, it took me forever. I fell out for a long time, and I'm finally getting back, and I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which I loved because I thought Guardians was very, very unique for how overly overt, they did the T in there, how overtly emotional it was trying to be. And I like that kind of stuff because I get very, very sideways with people doing either sentimental stuff or emotional stuff up to a point and then slamming on the brakes. It's like, no, you need to think I'm still cool, so let me make a fart joke now.
Yeah.
And that happens all the time. They didn't do that in Guardians 2. They went full on emotion and was like, F you if you don't like it. And I thought that was cool simply because so much Marvel stuff takes so much crap for just...
The opposite.
It's the same thing. They're just for kids. Nobody cares. La-di-da. I was telling Jared, I am a huge fan of the team stuff. I like the themes. That's really my thing with Black Panther. I promise it's going to get to Black Panther. Very much so. I love the theme, what the themes are, and the stuff they've been doing lately. I thought that the theme in Guardians of the Galaxy was definitely family, and not just the family that you share blood with, but family. And in Black Panther, somehow, they take the concept of family that you share blood with and otherwise, and they totally maximize it. And I thought the most thematic element of Black Panther was, community. Not just the team, not just your family, but community. And the reason I liked it so much, we talked about this at dinner, the reason I liked that idea so much is because when you start analyzing the motives of the Killmonger character, that's exactly what he was saying too.
Yeah.
It was fascinating.
Yeah.
I thought that was so interesting that both of them were, it's like, no, man, we got to protect Wakanda, we got to keep the rest of the world out. And basically Eric Killmonger is like, oh, there's a whole other world out there of us getting crapped on. You take care of Wakanda, I'm going to take care of this. And then ultimately you get to the end and it's all like, okay, let's let the borders down, and by golly, we'll give the world the gift of Wakanda to the entire world. But just the notion of what is your community, what is your family, what's your team? I loved it. I thought that part of it was super great. And that's all the abstract stuff. The movie itself, I thought it was, in my opinion, it is far and away the best of the solo movies. It might be the best of all of them, but I still think the first Avengers was pretty dang good. But of the individual hero stories, I don't think any two. You can take the first Iron Man and super splice it with Winter Soldier. I don't think any of them are as good as Black Panther. Panther was amazing. It was part of that's biased.
It's like how we've gotten this far along and I'm being made, and this one can stand alone as well as it does. And unless I missed it, outside of a shoehorned in Stan Lee cameo, I don't know if there's any mention of any of the other characters. Maybe I overlooked it or missed a name or a reference, but I just like how this far in, one can still stand alone, and you can have not seen anything, and you still get it, and it's awesome. And I think it's the start of the reboot of having the new leader coming in.
We've talked about
we talked
that.
about
I've thought that since I found out who was playing Black Panther, because I really do think that's one of the most important things in Marvel going forward is Chadwick Boseman, Brie Larson, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
That's it. When you cast those guys, it's like, yes, that's the new big three. That is the new big three, and I love it because I think it's very cool. It's quite good too because I like Doctor Strange. I like because you can go in unusual places with that story.
Yeah.
Black Panther, I love it because so many things about Black Panther. He is the consummate stalwart leader character.
Yeah.
But it's not Captain America. It's somebody different, and that's something I've always liked about Black Panther. Something I get in this huge conversation with Batman people all the time. Well, Gotham's like Wakanda. Batman is its protector. He decided to do that. Black Panther was born to do it. I think it's very interesting to have somebody. Excuse me. One of the most famous lines in Marvel Comics. Yes, it was in the comic book, and fortunately, Fox was smart enough to put it in the movies as well. This power and responsibility from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's it. That's Black Panther's blood. That's what it is. The thing about Black Panther, I'll say this: the thing about the character T'Challa is that like the icon that he becomes is something totally different. We talk all the time. I've said this forever that the thing about Steve Rogers is that he is Atticus Finch in comic book form. The thing about T'Challa is it goes way beyond that because it's not just this person that decides to do the right thing. T'Challa is like this iconic idea of what we wish Washington, D.C. was, of what we wish world leaders were like. So the responsibility is so much bigger. So it's a totally, totally different thing. So the idea of coming from there. But yeah, I'm totally with you. It's like, it is, again, same thing with the Infinity War trailer. With, is it in Wakanda? Are they in Wakanda? Yeah, that's like the center of the world now. Yes, it's like, dude, of course, this is... Black Panther's a big deal. It's
I'm valuable stuff there.
I'm glad it's most specific. Well, that's the whole thing. You have Stark Tower because of the. Who do you think? Who do you think is going to cut Tony Stark checks going forward? Probably the rich king of Wakanda. But yeah, and I loved it. I thought it was great.
And I was getting nervous as they were talking about the valuable stuff there. Like, is Thanos going to show up at the end of this movie, and that's going to be the tie-in? Because we've all seen the Infinity War trailer by now, most of us, and you virtually see Wakanda. Some of the Black Panther characters are there, and so I was like, okay, how's it going to tie in? And there is a tie-in, but it's kind of like you don't have to see it if you don't want to.
Yeah, it's the very, 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 very last thing, and I'm with Jared on it. I'm not wild about it, but it's just it's not. It's a great idea. I thought that is exactly what you're saying.
Beat you over the head.
Yeah, the way they handled it was perfect because it does tie it into the rest of them. But thank God it's not regular runtime and it's not that big of a deal. There's like one little throwaway joke, and it's awesome. But that's it. I just thought that was cool that there is not an over reliance on any other Avenger lore for Black Panther. They let Black Panther. This is the moment. This is the story. It's awesome. I absolutely loved it.
I'm tired of the term reboot, but I don't know if this will be called the reboot phase, but I just, dig it for what it is, and you can go check it out. And I've not seen any of the other ones, and you'll have a good time.
Yeah, I think the box office reflects that too. I mean, they all make good money, but there's tons of people that just... It's not about the comic book stuff. It's just, this is cool. I'm going to go see this. And everybody loves it. I'm so happy that people like it as much as they do, just because.
You're going to get those people's money regardless. I think this is, is extra special.
I agree. I can't say enough good stuff about it. I don't know why I'm not really doing detail-y stuff. But again, the theme was the main thing that I just loved. I just think it's interesting how subtly grown up these things are, because again, we talk about all the time, everybody thinks that boobies and bullets are grown up, and I think that's grown up when you're 15. You think that's what adult stuff is, but I don't know, just it takes way more guts to put something out there and actually, like I thought with Guardians of the Galaxy, to really put your heart on your sleeve, and in this case, to, I mean, really put some
stuff on Front Street.
There are political ideologies that are discussed in this movie, and they are discussed. It's not that they're discussed; it's that nobody throws Killmonger. Well, he's just crazy. Well, he's just listen to what he's saying. He's nuts. Nobody. If you listen to what he's saying,
compelling right bad guy makes.
if you, always,
Yeah.
we've talked about it forever.
good.
It's the thing that we've talked about with making Wanda the bad guy going forward. You don't need Magneto to have Magneto. You've got it. You totally have the justified villain. There you go.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of that being, I keep saying big three, I guess, but I don't want to call it a big four, because it's not. I don't think Wanda's going to be one of the good guys. I think that will be the bad guy going forward. I hope so anyway. I hope that's what they're going to do, is after we finish this one, that's where we go. But the series is going to be shockingly interesting with, the acting, who they cast was exciting, and it's very, very now. Oh, this is probably going to be really good. So when you see like the first, I haven't seen Doctor Strange because I'm an idiot, but when you see this now, the leader movie, and the second one of putting the new planks in order, I can see why everyone is still. So I'm still excited about it. I think everybody is, and I totally get why. Oh God, it was so good, man. But like Jared was saying, I think my favorite thing about it is I thought it was very, very unique, and but I keep saying that, but I think that really the point you made earlier is the better one. That, man, it could be the only one you watch and you're set. It's awesome, and even with the tie-in, it gets you ready for the next one, but it doesn't put you in a spot where you have to watch it. If you want to, that's great, but it's not one of those cliffhanger, now you have to watch the sequel. Not really. I mean, it's got a nice beginning. It was very, very well done, very well made. It's just like the narrative part of it, because Black Panther 2, shoot, yeah, I'll be back, but you don't have to be back. It was awesome. It's hard to explain it, but holy crap, it was good.
Yep. So, and I think that's something that they could probably do with that. He's going to get his own run of a trilogy or however many they'll end up doing. That might be a theme with all of them. Is like the Black Panther movie is the Black Panther movie, and you may see a little bit of a mention, but probably not. You may not. Who knows? But I'll still be there and check it out and be down for it.
Can't wait. Looking very forward to it, man. But yeah, the idea of Black Panther being, I keep saying New Captain America, and really what I mean by the parallel this time is it's really not one though. I guess that I really don't know. Maybe in tone, because the Captain America ones were the serious ones that had a different vibe to them, and I liked them. I mean, Civil War, it's hard to call Civil War. I hate calling that a Captain America movie because it's not. That's Avengers 2.5.
Yeah. And
everybody knows it. It just, I don't know. That one's not really. I love Cap, so I like him getting credit for it, but it's not really fair because they all contributed to that.
Yeah.
Captain America 2, that's him, and that's Sam, and that's, for Pete's sake, I always want to say Wanda because I'm a moron. That's not it. Natasha. And that's cool. They make that work, and it's real good. I just, man, I'm saying the same stuff over and over again. I do that a lot, though, on here. But I just love all the new people. That's something else we talked about earlier, too, man, is like, Black Panther's not just about sequels. I mean, you could do offshoots for pretty much everybody. I think there's a lot of folks that are thinking that Shuri is going to be Ironheart. Yeah. I can see that. There's a lot of people that are... I'm hoping that we get World of Wakanda. I think that would be fantastic. That would just be awesome. So anything they want to do is cool. Yeah. But whatever y'all want to do, because if nothing else, the Tim Hardaway reference alone gets you a sequel. I loved that. That Tim Hardaway, hey auntie, delete that footage. That alone, I'm in. Yeah. I'm totally in.
That's, worth the price of admission. To see that stuff. And it's like what you're talking about. One of the things I came away with it, and if I knew that this was gonna come up in the movie, I've forgotten it. But talking about at the very least, I guess I need to be more specific when I say I like all the Marvel stuff. I like the Marvel entertainment,
the MCU stuff. Yeah, I got you.
But so just some of the care that they show in who they cast, and when you see somebody like Angela Bassett show up, like, oh, this is somebody took the time to care. You know, the Angela Bassett's, what your Forrest Whitakers, what your people like that, your Kate Blanchetts, your Tilda Swintons, and Doctor Strange.
Yep.
As much as people tried to cause a stink over that, it was good, and I think the right person got it. So, but just that's one of the things I think that you talk about what Marvel gets right over DC is like that. It starts with casting.
We've talked about that for a decade now. I totally agree. We were discussing that earlier. Like, we'll get to that in a minute because it is kind of fun to contemplate the gravity of some of the actors that are in this stuff. Remember that Stanley Tucci is in the first Avenger. That tells you pretty much Stanley Tucci and Kate Blanchett being involved in this. Anthony Hopkins.
People have cared for
Anthony
a long time.
Hopkins, for Pete's sake. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, the point being that that's always been my case for Gary Oldman in the Christopher. You want to know what the Christopher Nolan Batman stuff is good? It ain't Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger's wonderful, but that's not why. As soon as you found out that Commissioner Gordon was going to be played by Gary Oldman, it's like, wow, this guy cares.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you're saying. Yeah, man.
So that's probably, I guess, the highest praise that I can give the movie is like one of the reasons I like it so much is like I don't think there was anybody in it that I was kind of like, I don't buy that.
It was all,
it was top to bottom.
Yeah, I was telling Jared,
I liked it all.
We were discussing like the only criticisms that we had of
Andy
it.
Serkis.
Yeah, Andy was. We were talking about it's been a bad year for Andy, man. Andy's having a. I mean, he's great for his bank account and for his skill. I mean, he was great, but it's just like, dang, y'all, just can he not make it to the end of anything?
Yeah.
But that was the Andy Serkis is important to what I was saying. My only problem with it, not a problem. It's not a problem with the movie. It's just the only thing I was like, shucks. Is I know, forgive me for doing that thing that everybody does with. We really needed more time with that villain, but I would have liked about 15, 20 more minutes with Killmonger.
I think it would have been beneficial.
I think so. I thought they did a really good job of him explaining himself, of him, like, his motives were awesome. They did a great job there. I was telling Jared, I thought, and maybe this is me and I missed it. Picked it up, so obviously they did a good enough job. But the idea of, Claw.
He didn't just happen into this.
That's my thing. The idea of Claw getting this guy and then doing that thing and la-di-da, when in reality the whole point is that Killmonger positioned himself to get Claw so he could kill him and take him back to Wakanda because that's his ticket to get in, is an awesome story. And I wish that maybe I missed it, but I wish that the manipulation of him actually being 100% control of that whole situation, I just think it would have been another layer for him. And it's cool, like I said, I've totally given it to him, so I like it, but just a little bit more time with that guy I would have loved, especially with him dying at the end, which he kind of had to, simply because if you have that character on the screen, he gonna take over. I think it's a testament to Chadwick Boseman that not everybody is like, well, Panther kind of let me down. I thought Killmonger was cool. A lot of people do think Killmonger was cooler, and they will tell you, but they don't criticize Chadwick Boseman. They don't criticize T'Challa.
Not calling him weak.
Yeah,
just calling Eric that cool.
Yeah, and that never happens. So it's another one of those things where it just tells you just how good of a job they did with this thing. Like, holy smokes, that's really cool that you can get him over like that. And it's Eric and Charles, man. It's just Eric and Charles, because nobody, this Charles. They just see where Eric's coming from. Yeah. That's always there. A lot of Erics here. A lot of Erics with a K. But, it was, I'm sorry to keep gushing, but I did love it. I'm with you. And it's neat, too, because this is one of the ones, probably since the first Avengers, this is the one that I was the most excited about. Because Panther's awesome. We love Black Panther. And I was so, disappointed is the wrong word. I keep saying that. But Civil War messed me up because vengeful, angry Black Panther hurts my heart. I get it. And I think I said this on one of the shows before, man. What they did is exactly what they should have. It's kind of like the tie-in scene for this movie. When I say it didn't do it for me, I'm the one that's wrong. They totally got these things right. The way Black Panther behaves up until the end of Civil War is exactly the story you should tell. I'm just very sensitive about Panther because my favorite description, I say it all the time, man, is that you have characters that are intimidating because they need to be intimidating. Black Panther doesn't give a crap if you're afraid of him or not because he knows you should be. And I just think that's way cooler, and that's exactly what he was.
He knows you'll get there.
And that's exactly what it was in this. And then it's some stuff like that when you do throw the humor in, you throw in Don't Freeze, you throw in What Are Those? All of the stuff with him and Cherie, it's fun, especially with them being related. That was one of my favorite things. I was talking to someone about Cherie's superpower, the legit superpower. And what I like about it, we talk all the time, you don't have to have Magneto in the MCU because you've got Wanda Maximoff, and everything that you can do story-wise for the narrative with Magneto, you've already got it. Completely justified villain that you are on the side of. That's her. It's literally Killmonger as well. But the thing with Cherie is Reed Richards' genuine superpower is how smart he is. And what he contributes to all the big crossover stories is he's the dude that can deduce and this and la-di-da, and here's what you need, now go win. You literally have that superpower in the MCU now, but you've got it, Fantastic Four maniac that I am, in a much more fascinating character, because Cherie is funny and awesome, and it's just way, 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 way cooler. So the narrative power you had, the narrative character, you are so far ahead. And it's so cool. I love Reed. I don't mean to diss Reed. It's just Reed is awesome. It is a very fun character. All that talk, and I ain't even mentioned Okoye, who's my favorite character. There's something about Michelle and Otello hanging out with the Black Panther. I'm like, makes sense to me. Right on. It totally works. Cool. I'm like, yes. So that was my favorite character. But it's hard to say because like you said, man, there's some good. If you're just doing the women, it's hard to pick a favorite one. It's just like, man, this is such a cool movie.
It starts with we're talking about people that care, and I think you have to mention the Jon Favreau's and the Kevin Feige's, and I think hiring a director like Ryan Coogler, who did Creed last year and actually directed and had a writing credit on this one. It's him and somebody else. I don't remember who else wrote it with him, but sorry about that. But that's more what I think what we're talking about is the hiring people that give a darn and make this it's going to keep this stuff going and good.
I think you're exactly right. I was listening to a podcast the other day about MLS, and they were talking about the benefits of letting MLS grow organically, and that's the first thing I thought of is the MCU, which we talked about it. It sounds insane to say anything as strong of a corporation as Disney to refer to it as organic might not seem like that might not be that intelligent, but I think it is. I really not intelligent, but I think it makes sense for exactly what you're talking about. We discussed that at dinner too, man. Favreau, lifelong Iron Man fanatic, Jon Favreau being the guy to write and direct the first Iron Man movie. The first Iron Man, now it's hard to believe was ever a risk, but it really was. It was. And so it's like, that's so cool.
Iffy.
Yeah, it's so cool that they put all that in. That was one of those, we talk about all the stuff that they've changed that is, I mentioned earlier, like things that, oh, well, that's not for me, but that's not my character. But man, for what they're trying to do, it's so much better. That happened, I thought, with leading with Iron Man instead of Captain America. I'm a Captain America guy. It's my favorite character. He will always be my guy, but it was such a better decision because Tony Stark is more interesting than Steve Rogers. Fantastic decision. So even from like the first one, it's like, man, they just can't help but get this stuff right, man. Oh God, I'm very excited. It's nice to discuss this movie, and part of it is that it's good with the series just because I like all of these, but the last, again, I did Guardians 2, which I really did freak out, love. And then I did Black Panther, which I not only, let me rephrase that. I love Guardians 2, and I freaked out and loved it, but it was one of those ones that I thought it was like, it's either here or here. And no, don't get me wrong, it's not like, oh, you love it as much as I do, or you don't like it. It's not that at all. I think most people really dug it. It's just, I liked it this way, and that's okay. Black Panther is one that the mainstream, over the top, gushing, holy crap, how great was this? Brother, I'm right in the flow of that. It's like, it's not like, oh, well, I like it this way, but I understand where you're coming from. Holy crap, I don't understand another way. I'm sure there is, but I'm like freaking out like everybody else.
if there's, that's where I feel the similarities to Iron Man come is I feel like this director wanted to do this.
That's a great way to say it. That's
And,
a great point. Really, that's good, man.
And that's people trying to draw those similarities to Tony Stark and Black Panther. It's like that's where the similarities to me show up in this movie.
Yeah, as far as the if we're talking about the movies themselves, I agree because you know me, of course.
Yeah.
Black Panther is Steve Rogers. Cherie is Tony. It's all good. I love that stuff, but I think that's the whole deal with. We talk about new Captain America, who should be the new Captain America, which I have a very firm opinion on because I'm a Cap guy. But as far as, man, what you gonna do when Captain America dies in the movie? Keep watching because it's good for the story. I mean, it's really the story that you're working on. It's better that way. And now, who in the world doesn't want to see Black Panther out front? And I propose that to the Tony Stark kids all the time because they're the ones freaking out about their hero getting killed. I'm like, you seriously want to keep Downey around for 10 more years when you could have this guy instead? Because I don't. I think that Tony has been fantastic for his moment.
Yeah.
T'Challa's turn, I'm in, buddy. I'm 100% in. And Carol's the same way. As far as personality goes, Carol's going to be a lot more like Tony. Now, she's not. The intellect. They have different forms of. Carol Danvers is a smart cookie. She's just not a scientist. They're different. But as far as like the snarkiness and the sense of humor, y'all gonna like Carol, man, because she's fun like that.
Yeah, and that's one of the trailers I saw was Ant-Man and Wasp, and there was that I was like, okay, fine. I saw another trailer for Solo, and I'm just like, I can't get there. I can't get there with it.
I'm bummed about that. I'll tell you why in a second.
I wish I could. Lord, I wish I could. I just think they know they got a big old piece of poopy on their hands, and they're just we're trying to make the best of it. And the other big one was whatever they're calling the next Mission Impossible 27. And I just
Mission Impossible, the impossible mission,
the impossible.
Impossibler.
But I was done with Mission Impossible after Ghost Protocol, and I feel like that's a sign of just how terrible my taste is. But it's there was nothing in that trailer that made me think, oh, what was different from the last one? Okay, it's the same.
We talked about it. It's another Fast and the Furious franchise, which it's totally okay because it's like Fast and the Furious. I always equate to the Ramones because Fast and the Furious is not my thing. I do like the Ramones. Man, all the Ramones songs sound the same. That's right. So if you like one of them, you like all of them. I totally think that's fair.
As long as you like it, fine.
I totally think that's fair for Fast and the Furious, Mission Impossible, all that series stuff like that. If that's your thing, I totally get it. That's cool.
Get down, bro.
Yeah, Mission Impossible 3, I think that's the one I liked so much. I think that was JJ's first one. I'm pretty sure that was when he took over.
Yeah.
And that was awesome.
It shows.
Oh, yeah,
I
agree.
That was the peak.
I'm with you.
It's been the decline.
Most of his stuff I dig too, man. Like I love the Star Trek stuff. The first two. I need to watch the third one again because I think I let Star Trek 3. I think I pulled a Rogue One on where there's just one thing in it that is like not a gut punch, but it's just and I don't like it. And I don't think I recovered from it.
Something about we're talking about trailers. There's something about it rubbed me the wrong way. Where it's like, well, I don't have to see that, and then every review was like, you don't have to see it. I was like, well, I agree with that. So
yeah, man.
I just, it's one of those I feel like I'll eventually get around to.
Sure.
When it's on free TV one day.
No, I can dig that. That's kind of my well, it's not because it's already on free TV. But that was kind of my thing with like Ant-Man, the movie that everybody I know is furious at me for not having seen. But my deal with the Star Trek stuff is I loved those, so I had to watch it. And I didn't go to the theater to see it. I got it when it came out, and it's okay. It's just that I thought that the Jesus Christ Beastie Boys reprise, it just hurt. It embarrasses me to say it out loud. I hated that because it was so forced and so silly. And forgive me for being the one white guy on earth that'll say it, but I'll say it. The Beastie Boys are not that damn cool. Jeez, I mean, I'm glad you love them, but holy crap, they are not the bedrock of awesomeness. To move on. And I'm worried about that with the Zune and Guardians of the Galaxy. I appreciate it because you're trying to open up the soundtrack. But for the love of God, stay away from the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
Please don't do that. And there's no reason to think they will. I'm getting that out there. I'm just preemptively putting it out there. But yeah, I hate when something it doesn't ruin. I mean, it's like Darth Vader. I didn't think the Darth Vader scene didn't ruin Rogue One for me. It's just that I didn't like it. And that's kind of, I guess I need to watch it again. But I guess that's really the problem with it, is that normally I've seen so many things that I love up to a certain point, and then when you get to that point, it's like, so what? I loved it up to that point. And I'm afraid maybe that I don't have that with Star Trek. Maybe it wasn't that good. It just wasn't any good. But yeah, I had to watch that one because that's the series I was real into.
I heard a lot of good. I was interested. Well, like what we're talking about, when you hear it's written by Simon Pegg, it's gonna have I can't think of anybody's name from The Wire, from Heimdall. Was it gonna be
Elba.
in it?
Yeah,
Idris Elba. You hear he's gonna be in it. So we're checking a lot of boxes that are gonna make this up my alley, and it just kind of fell flat when it came out. And you're like, well, on to the next one. Get around to it. And I haven't yet.
It's no rush. It's all good.
But the other trailer I saw that talk about before it even gets here, coming out flat, was the Isle of Dogs.
Yeah.
Or is that what it's called?
I think that's literally what it's called. Yeah.
The last Wes Anderson movie, I finally remembered the name of it.
Awesome.
Because all I could think of was the hotel one. I was like, no, I didn't see Budapest Hotel. I thought that was Hotel Chevalier. No, that wasn't it either. That's the short movie before Darjeeling Unlimited, which was the last one that I saw.
Yeah, I got you.
So I understand. I am behind when it comes to his movies, but there's something about the story, number one, just looks like not interested, and that type of animation is furthermore, it's not my bag.
Yeah, I'm not huge on the animation. I got to be careful with anyway, and I typically like to watch them at home where I can have all the lights on. But Wes Anderson, I've fallen off the planet with because, let's see, how do they go? Rushmore's good. That one holds up. Tenenbaum's really holds up. It's still very good.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot Bottle Rocket. Heaven forbid. I'm not a huge Bottle Rocket guy. It's fine.
It's all right.
It's fine, but it's not my thing. The other two are really good. Steve Zissou I enjoy.
Would you say, is Bottle Rocket the true romance of his stuff, or the Reservoir Dogs of his stuff?
I would say that Bottle Rocket is true romance.
Okay.
I mean, there's there's the parallel of them like both being
Fine,
first.
but I don't know if it's as vital as everybody says it is.
It's true romance is good. Bottle Rocket's good, but I see where you're coming from, man. But yeah, no, Reservoir Dogs is definitely Rushmore, where
Okay.
it's like
Yeah,
I'm totally with you on that.
Yeah, it's something about '90s directors always have to be like, well, which one is his this or that?
Yeah, I think that's cool. I think that's a good way to do it, man.
Yeah. But I'm sorry.
No, you're good, dude. Darjeeling was after Steve Zissou, and that's in a lot of ways, it's very strange because sometimes you'll see a movie by somebody and it's not quite up, and then you have a hard time getting back up.
think
This
that
was
one gets better.
this was the total opposite for
Yeah.
me. That's my favorite one by 1,000 miles, and it's like you can't top that one. So I'll just try and be.
Every time I see it, it's better.
I love it. That's my favorite one. I absolutely love it. And then what happened after that one? Because
Moonrise.
see, I hated Moonrise Kingdom.
I didn't see that.
And I've watched it like 3 times to try and see if it was me or if it was the day. Because that's my thing about Grand Budapest is I saw it once and I hated it too, but I was having an awful day. So I might need to watch that one again. Mr. Fox, I skipped for the exact reason you're talking about
Yeah.
skipping Isle of Dogs. It's just I don't like the animation.
Yeah.
So maybe, but it's cool. They can have it. But the Grand Budapest I need to watch again, and it seems like there's another one that I'm forgetting. But overall, I dig them. But yeah, it was very strange because normally I see oh shoot, now I can't get back up again. I'm not excited. And that one was just like, well, you've topped out, friend. Let's see what you do
Yeah,
next time.
yeah.
This is the best.
Yeah.
And that soundtrack's amazing too. I play that one all the time. I don't remember what else. I'm with you on like previews and stuff because Ant-Man and Wasp, I don't care. I'm glad that Wasp is in it. I'm very like childish that it's not. It's very strange. I'm thrilled that Ant-Man is Scott Lang because Henry Pym's a piece of crap, y'all. If all you know is the MCU or he's nice old Kirk Douglas, Henry Pym he's an awful person. I'm glad the MCU cleaned him up.
Yeah.
to the point that they shipped him out of the hero role and they let Scott have it because Scott's a more fun character and that was a good decision. And so therefore, I'm sure the decision to change the Wasp is a good one too. But I just love Janet so much. The problem is that Janet is very enjoyable in the book. That takes a long time. So I understand you're running out of narrative. You don't really have space to let people grow. You need that room for Carol, because Carol's got to be the one that stumbles, and not got to be, but probably is gonna be, because that story's way more interesting if that's who she is. Anyhow, it's all good, but I'm just really like, cool, doing another one, all right, and that's what you should do. They should make as many as they want to, by golly.
Heck yeah, man.
But I don't remember any of the previews that I saw.
I think that's all of them. I think I got them all. I picked a bad one to end on, but it's whatever.
So what's DC got coming up next? I'm a jerk, being a total jerk. But
Bankruptcy.
Are we still? Yeah, this isn't even a contest anymore, is it? I mean, it wasn't. It wasn't anyway, basically, because Justice League comes out and it's like, ooh, swing and a miss.
Oh no.
And then all of a sudden, I mean, when Guardians of the Galaxy is crushing you based off of name recognition, that's no good. But then Black Panther comes out. Black Panther had a totally different kind of hype, and it's like, sweet, this is awesome. So that's just, it's so good. I'm so happy. But one of the main things is exactly what you've been saying this whole time, man. It's very weird because it happens at the same time where Black Panther in and of itself was such a good story and such a good movie, and it's like, heck yeah, that was so satisfying. But it also simultaneously puts you in this crazy position of excitement about where they're going to build off of it. It's strange. Let me say, man, you don't have to build nothing, but whatever you do build, it's exactly what you said a minute ago, but whatever you do build, I can't wait to see. So it's like, this is awesome.
It's really, that's the vibe you get from it. It's like, man, this is, going places.
Yeah, totally. Oh, I love it. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I don't remember what else happened.
That's pretty much. I think everything to get down with, like what we're talking about, is like you watching a movie like this leaves you with the excitement of what to come, and you have to kind of scratch your head after a movie like Justice League to be like, is there anything else coming?
I don't care what's coming next.
Why?
Yeah,
Why are we doing this?
Oh wait, there's a next. Oh no, and I shouldn't say anything. I haven't seen any of those, but I still haven't seen Wonder Woman. I suck. I'm hoping that it will wind up on Netflix. I can watch it for free, but I don't know about the contracts and stuff like that.
The opening scene of the next Batman movie is young Bruce in Crime Alley, like, "Mommy's dying now."
Not me. He's dying now.
That's a Christopher Guest joke. If you don't know,
It's
but
a wonderful Christopher Guest joke.
go seek it out.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up. That's the Black Panther review.
Yeah, no. Infinity War is in May, right?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so we're close. I'm glad that one's close, and it's gonna be a good year for Disney. When was the last time that wasn't true, man? They're doing okay, aren't they?
They'll be fine.
Yeah,
They'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
So man, that's what's up, y'all.
Have a good one, man.
We'll see you. Bye.